And welcome back to Janky AF and Year of the Aerostar, episode 28. Well, quite a special one for you today, as all Aerostars are. But, you may say that my liking of Ford Aerostars is something of a radical obsession. And if you've ever spent a little time on Google image search, if you also have a radical obsession with Ford Aerostars and you've sort of gone down the wormhole, as it were, to look into all the lore that surrounds these vehicles, then you may too have a radical obsession, and that phrase may ring a bell for a particular reason. And that will all be made clear right now as I introduce this 1992 Ford Aerostar minivan listed for just $1 in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And as you can see, this is someone's radical obsession. Now, of course, it does say radical obsession right here on this visor, and of course it has peeled off over time, and it looks like it is in need of some new lettering. But if you can't read it, then I'll make it a little bit clear for you, because this is a Google image search all-star, especially when you're searching for Ford Aerostar lifted. Now, I, of course, like many people who are into Ford Aerostars, that because they made an all-wheel drive version of it, it can be lifted. Well, any vehicle can be lifted, but it is an underrated sort of overlanding vehicle or off-road vehicle or mud bogging vehicle. We have this video here, a lifted minivan, and Jamie gets the Jeep stuck. I've actually watched this video, and this Aerostar performed quite well alongside all these lifted Jeep Wranglers and the like. Of course, there were two Aerostar Bigfoot monster trucks, official monster trucks. Here is one here that we don't have a great image of. The Bigfoot Shuttle, it was called. So, quite a series of, here we have a great brown over gold two-tone. That was probably an earlier incarnation of the Bigfoot Aerostar monster truck. So another feather in the Aerostar's cap is that it was actually an official monster truck. And not a whole lot of other trucks can say that, and it just goes to show that the Aerostar is perhaps the most versatile, the most widely used in terms of applications vehicle of all time. And of course, we have here this image, which you can clearly see says radical obsession, and it's in a little better quality here. And it did have these nice headlights here, which we see now seem like they have been removed from the vehicle, at least recently. Let's go back again. Now, I never noticed this before, and this is why it's great to not only track the progress of these vehicles, but also see them when they come up for sale. We have this, what looks like they cut sort of the, front quarter panel, probably when they were installing some of these giant suspension components in here. And it looks pretty seamless here, but here we do see this vehicle, has maybe just lost a tiny bit of its luster, and it looks like that has come undone. So, as we'll get to it, this van does need a little work, but it is quite an amazing piece of Aerostar history, and it is officially now for sale for the first time ever. Obviously, $1 is not the price, but I wish they would have just put something here. It's a little pet peeve of mine, because I would love to see, what this vehicle would actually command, or what they're looking to get for it. So, 1992 Ford Aerostar 4x4, one owner since new, the best of everything. Both axles steer and are narrowed, so that's amazing. It's kind of got four-wheel steering there. Bilstein suspension. This is a complete done build, clean title, ready to go. Let's just skip. I won't skip ahead. I'll give you the suspense. Removable flip front end. That's probably why this. Okay, now we're seeing. That's probably why this thing comes off. Interior is clean and has interior cage. This van is a Grand National Jamboree winner. I'm not sure what the Grand National Jamboree is, but I sure would like to win it. This is a top-of-the-line build. It was voted in the top 10 vehicle in the world in the Tough Truck Challenge magazines. Brand new 54-inch wheels, independent transfer case. Engine compartment is set up for V8 and tranny. This vehicle has no motor or tranny. So skipping back now, complete done build, complete clean title, ready to go, except for the motor and transmission. But I get it, you know, obviously a lot of the work at this stage, dropping an engine and transmission is probably quite minor in the grand scheme of things. First time up for sale. Please make offers only. Comes with deck over trailer. Wow, you know, it's like you know, like seeing a Lamborghini Countach poster on your wall for all those years and then getting to see one in real life, or seeing one up for sale, or God forbid buying one. I can't believe this thing still even exists, first of all, because who knows how old these images are. It was sort of just this like fabled egg, and now all of a sudden it's here, and it's for sale in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Now Carlisle, obviously, Corvettes at Carlisle, a very famous car town, so I'm wondering if this is being sold sort of at the, you know, the market that goes on every year. The license plate, of course, says, "Why are you so high?" Which would be a good question to ask of this van. But obviously the answer is because someone has a radical obsession. Now, I can't claim to know the goings-on of monster trucks and how everything works. But obviously four-wheel steering, I know they go over those cars, the line of cars, and they have to make those real tight turns in the circle. I have watched a fair amount of monster truck videos. On a styling perspective, you have your, you know, I just did a white Aerostar with white bumpers, but I remarked how the grille was not painted white, and well, now you can see what it looks like when the grille is actually painted white. Quite nice, I will say. It looks like a nice job. Now your headlight bezels and your frame of your grille are not painted, but I think that looks just fine. I think it looks wonderful. They do, of course, have the front upper lip spoiler, which is the lauded piece of Aerostar, you know, accessories that I always wish I could get my hands on for one of my vehicles. And this paint, I wonder if this is factory. I mean, this could have been a factory Aerostar job, especially in '92. Fits the time period just fine. Looks like we have a rather stock Aerostar interior. Unfortunately, these are about the only pictures of the interior, but it looks fairly nice and clean. And just a wonderful, wonderful graphics package on there. Peak 90s in the blue and gray and sort of your, you know, fading color here. Your gradient and your big stripe and strike through your little pinstripes here. Very, very nice, very, very tasteful, and really, you know, gives sort of like an island vibe, and you can just see this thing cruising over sand dunes somewhere. Just an amazing build. I love the trailer it comes on. This looks like it, you know, would need to be secured very well to drive on that, but I believe it does come with a trailer. It almost looks like a boat trailer or something like that. Just sitting in someone's yard here, you know, just, you know, waiting to be, you know, supplied with an engine and transmission. Now, I wonder where the engine and transmission gone. Presumably they went to another project, and now that's why they're selling this. Boy, just outstanding, astonishing. Obviously, you know, when you build these things, you basically just have the cab, and then you have all the frame and everything that goes on into the making it a monster truck, and then getting all these things to work, getting it to connect and actually come up through the steering wheel. Again, I'm not a builder of these. Now, I don't know if I've ever seen the back of this vehicle and all those pictures, and obviously your graphics package goes right onto the back. Looks very, very nice, very, very clean. I imagine riding up so high, it probably does not, you know, encounter a lot of rust or corrosion or anything of that nature. Oh, just breathtaking, really. I mean, this is really a gem in the Aerostar, you know, compendium. Now, this is interesting because I don't think these straps are holding it to the trailer. I think this is like a component of the vehicle, and it almost looks like you have two giant ratchet straps that are actually holding the car together. Leave if you're familiar with these lifted vehicles, leave me a comment, please, and please let me know what the heck is going on here with this sort of giant nylon strap. Maybe it's like a safety thing in case something comes disconnected, or in case your springs pop out too high. But look at the size of these springs. You know, look at a normal coilover spring. Look at the size of these things. Obviously you can see your frame there. It looks to be in very good condition. But just massive, massive. What did they say those? 54-inch wheels. I'm guessing that's the tire and not the wheel. And then we have, of course, your front view, Radical Obsession, which looks like it was kind of hand painted. And what a great name for this vehicle. You know, I've always known it as the Radical Obsession, and couldn't have said it better myself. Now this must be your front flip up end here, which actually opens up for access or something, and that's why there is this sort of tapered glue or adhesive or whatever it is. Seems like it could have been gussied up a little bit nicer than that, but certainly not a critique. You know, I'm sure it is very functional and allows you to gain access to whatever components you need to, or to drop an engine in, whatever it may be. I imagine you need quite a crane to lift an engine into this thing, or perhaps you go up through the bottom, I don't know. Obviously everything does look very, you know, professional and very high test, and then you have your wonderful diamond plating down here, which adds a nice little sort of monster truck 90s touch. Looks like you might have a little dent there going on in the quarter panel, but certainly nothing major. Nothing a body shop couldn't take care of. Just imagine driving this thing. And so I'll make a final appeal here. If anyone somehow buys this thing, please, I'm begging you, I will travel over land, sea, and air to drive this thing and review it. If you manage to get an engine and a transmission in there. It says it gets 22 miles per gallon highway, 18 miles combined. I can imagine that's mileage dependent. It says it's only driven 300 miles, which actually I could believe. And if you put a brand new crate motor in here, that'd probably be fairly accurate, because I would imagine taking this thing to car shows and whatnot, it's got to be quite the scary experience to, you know, drive it on public roads, both for you and everyone else on the public roads. So there you have it, the Radical Obsession, this lifted Ford Aerostar DIY homemade monster truck. It is quite the revelation. And the other thing I'll say is I never give away the seller's names or anything like that, but this is being sold by a woman, and I just think that is amazingly badass, and I would love to meet this fine young lady and see her creation. Now, maybe she didn't build it, maybe she did, but I just thought that was a nice little aside to say that, you know, the Aerostar is for absolutely everybody, and everyone is invited to the Aerostar party, and if you showed up in this, you would make quite the splash in the presentation. So, boy, if anyone knows any more info about this, please let me know, and just enjoy these enthralling images of this real royalty in the Aerostar world, if such a thing can be said for a car that, you know, is the ultimate every person's car. Wow. Just breathtaking. All right, so there you have it. Another episode of Year of the Aerostar. I hope you enjoyed this real special one, this 92. I'm glad to know it's a 92 too. I never knew what year it was. So there you have it. Boy, look at the size of these tires compared to these trailer tires. It just goes on and on, the hilarity, the cartoonishness of this vehicle. Thank you so much for watching. This is Janky AF, and until next time, Janky do Thanky.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.